making a lot of these different videos, I do ask people for their comments, and the one video I made on the Lyman adjustable powder measure basically wasn't a very good video. Somebody asked if I can make it over again, and I will, because I looked at it, I seen it again, and it was raining, you can't hear, and it should be done over. The whole idea I make these things these videos is to help people, give them some information, some experience I have, and hope it helps them, reload or use firearms in a safe way. So, thanks for the criticism, and I'm going to correct that now. Okay, so the video is the Lyman adjustable powder measure. This is an old item. It was under Lyman, used to be called Ideal. So you may find these on Ideal. It's an old design. And it's your basic manual powder measure. Alright, so we're going to go over the different components, and I'll show you how to set it up and a few little tricks. First thing that you have is there's a cap that goes on here, a rubber cap, which I lost, I don't use, and I'll show you why later. The first thing is this set screw here at the bottom. Let me get that zoomed in. This one right here. Okay, what it is there's where the spout is, and what they usually do is they send you two spouts. And let me see if I can bounce it. You can see the one and the other. They're two different sizes, a large and a small. And what that is so it covers just about every caliber there is. Your case will go up into this spout. Let me get one real quick and show you. Okay, what I mean by that is, say you have an empty case. This is designed to where you can stand this alone with an empty case, and it's like an 8mm that would fit into there like that. And say you had a smaller case, well, you have a smaller powder charge, so you have a smaller adapter. So what you do is you select which one you need. And because we're loading 8mm and that, we'll go with the larger one. If you're in like 223 or the 22 calibers, you'd use the smaller one. And as you notice, there's a little groove here on this, and it's threaded. The reason it's threaded is so you can thread this into a bushing or fixture on like a turret press or a progressive reloader, and that way you can have a station on your reloading head for charging the cases. And you just insert this into the bottom, and then you screw this down, the set screw down, and it catches into the groove. Okay, and it's always good to have this on, even if you're not screwing this into something or anything. And that's one way of attaching the powder measure, is to turn it down into a threaded fixture, and it will be on a turret press, is what Lyman made. I don't know if they make progressive presses or whatever, but this is so it can go into a press, or they used to have a holder which you could mount and then put the adapter in and have this standing up on a holder because you have to get underneath it. You can also mount it. There's a clamp on the back to mount this, and that's how I use it. I put it up on a shelf, and I just use the clamp, the screw, and then you just put it up on a shelf or something, and you can turn that in and clamp it. So you can clamp it to something, you can screw it into the bushing and it goes in a stand or it goes in a reloader, but that's how you can set this up. It's very versatile, easy to set up. Now, this little thing here on the front, zoom in on it. I guess when you read the instructions, it's just a little weight. It's here on this. And what you do is when you tap this, once it's set up and standing, you tap this, and that'll make, you're tapping the the measure, and that'll make your powder kind of settle down. And you can use it. I've tried that method once. You tap it so many times to keep the consistency. Like every time you throw a charge, down charges up. So now your powder's setting in there, and you kick this once or twice to settle the powder in, or turn it up. You turn it up, and when the powder goes into the tumblers, you can use that to settle the powder down. I don't do that. I tried that many years ago, and I found it's a pain, so I don't use that method. I'll show you the method that I use to keep consistent charge on this. Now, as for your adjustments, try to take a look at here. I'm going to zoom in, and we're going to look at the barrel system in here. Okay, as you see down there, that's your barrel. Okay, and what you do is you got this little set screw and a holder here, and this one controls the main barrel, and this other one here on the top controls the top slide here, which has got a dual thing. So when you loosen this barrel, the whole barrel, you have to loosen both of them, and the whole barrel and everything will slide out. Okay, and what that does is down in here, you see, it opens. That's your whole thing goes together. And when you flip this down and you look in this area here, I don't think you can see it, but right along in here, try to zoom in, maybe you can see it, maybe not. There's graduations in here, in grains and in drams. Because drams was another. There's D and G. Okay, so this was designed to load everything, shotgun shells, the whole 9 yards. So you got calibrations here in grains and drams. Then on the top slide, you have calibrations of probably grains. It looks like divisions of 1 or 2, and then there's 10 here, and I'm not quite sure which is which. 10 grains, and as you see that will go against, you can move this in and out, and in here will give you your different divisions. And what it is you have 2 adjustment knobs. So you can basically say we're going to go with 30 grain load. What we do is slide this to your 30 grains here, and then you lock down this screw here, and that will hold the main barrel open. Now with this top screw, this secures this top plate. There's 2 things on this top plate. We're going to leave it loose, and I'll show you in here. When you turn the one, it moves. You can see down in there, it moves a slide over. And it's kind of like a heavy adjustment. Then if you want to make a real fine adjustment that's split in 2 and you see where it moves across there, even a finer adjustment. And then now you can see that silver where it is, and you can move. So you have 2 different slides, a real, like a 1/4 inch thick thing, and then another thing in there, it's about 3/8 thick. So you have 2 slides in there, and that's your fine adjustment on this. Now, if you were gonna load, like I like to load a lot of pistol. I'm gonna just zero it all out. If you're going to do a pistol load, say with 5 grains of bullseye or something, you would keep this position locked, and then you'd use these fine adjustments and just take out, like on the top slide, to get your light load of 5 grains or something like that. So you have a lot of options, a lot of fine adjustment. There's 3 different barrels in here: the main barrel, the top slide for fine adjustment, and another slide down there also. So you can adjust this thing pretty accurately, and that thin slide gives you your fine precision. So basically that's your different controls and adjustment. And once you have your thing adjusted, tighten up all of these, this and this. Okay, remember, this little one controls the main barrel, and the larger one up here on the top goes down onto this slide and controls that. Now I'm going to set this up and show you how I basically use it, and a trick to keep your load consistent. Now we got the controls all figured out and the adjustments. Like I mount mine on this shelf here. And it'll go up on there, and it's, you know, there's room to maneuver and manipulate everything. And just like that. And I'm just setting this at 40 grains. We're not going to really charge anything. I'm just going over how to use this. And I'll show you a trick to keep things consistent and accurate. Like I said, I use this here. What you want to do, and it does work, and I've used this for years, is first have your powder measured down so you're not filling the chamber. And you add your powder to the measure. Because powder will settle. When you tap this, use it, the powder will settle down. You fill it up a ways, and what you do is take a powder funnel, like this. Okay, you take a powder funnel and you place it up in the top here. And then you fill the rest of it kind of up with the funnel. Stick powder is a pain, but if you're using flake powder, like I said, I used to like to use a lot of bullseye for pistol shooting. And then you fill the funnel up to the top. And then, like I said, we're just going to dump some charges. Back that up a bit. But what you're doing with this is you're keeping a constant level here in the measure, so it's constant pressure, which will give you a more uniform charge weight. Ready, one. I think you get the idea of it all. You know, you keep doing that, and that'll give you a consistent charge weight. You, like say we were going with 43 grains, you make your rough adjustment. If you're off a grain or two, then use the fine adjustments, you know, at the top, loosen that, tune it up that way. But the funnel trick, like I said, with the stick powder, you gotta watch it. This trick here works good, and what you do is dispense your powder, and when your funnel's empty, fill the funnel up and maintain a constant powder level, and that'll make your charges more uniform and consistent. You know, you don't have to tap this thing and settle it down into the drum. Like say you take the drum up and you go like this, and that settles the powder down into the drum itself. That's why it's on there, but I've tried that method, and really the easiest thing to do is this funnel method. Put the funnel up there, keep the level constant, and try not to jar it too much, settle the powder in, and you should throw pretty consistent charges. Alright, that's about it. Any questions or anything else, please leave a comment.